So, with this being a somewhat recent IPO, there's no there's no upside. It's what we would call blue sky. I mean, it doesn't mean that it's going to go up forever, but there's no clear descending resistance level or anything like that. So this one is definitely nice from that perspective. So right now we're getting a pullback. Let's see, we've got 30 seconds left on this current 5-minute candle. Or sorry, the current 1-minute candle. The last candle has a high of 1609. My order's still at 1620. Reminder to those of you guys that are new, not to blindly follow me or anyone else. You've got to understand the strategy. These up to 25, 30. Perhaps we see a move up into the 40s or 50s. Orders at 25. I would be willing to add again. I want to catch the break through this flat top. Watch up here. Buying the dip right there. So I just bought that dip. You can see how this is flashing around. This has the look of something that when it breaks this level, it's going to be a big move. So watch over 1620. This is a flat top breakout pattern right now. I want to see 16, 15, 17, 18. Watch here. 16, 17, 18. There's 20 on the ask. It's churning a little bit underneath this level. Let it come back up for a second attempt. I'll buy dips. Adding there 1604, buying that dip. So by adding at 1604, then the next time it comes up, I'm already in the green. Orders at 1622, 2,500 shares. Watch here, adding there at 15. So now looking for the second attempt through 1620, or the third attempt on this flat top. We want to see it 1615, 1617. That volume come in as it squeezes up to that level. Stopped out for right now at 16, cutting the loss for my 1604 entry. And I'll look to come back to it over 1620 or perhaps on a 5-minute pullback. What we have going for us here is ascending volume, which is good. This pullback down here, I would look for a bounce off of maybe 75 or something like that. So I'm going to keep this one on watch. I think it's going to maybe be better for a 5-minute setup now. We've got 8.2 million shares of volume. Orders at 1620. Adding there 1615, 7,500 shares. Looking for the break through the flat top. Taking a starter on it. Over 1620 is the add. Watching. Adding there So nice move up to 25. Not the biggest breakout I've ever seen. I took profit at 23 and 20, and now I'll look for a dip trade for the next entry. I still think a 5-minute setup would be better. Let's see. Our second leading gapper is ears. EARS. This one I'm not as into right now. There's your headline on it. So this is a company going public through a special acquisition company. High is 1628. Low is 1570 of this pullback. Is that tiptoe?
Flip-flop sound.
Yeah, that's a flip-flop sound. I was promised tiptoes.
Like I said, I do my best.
Yep. Okay. All right, so we have about 23 minutes to the bell. So let's see. This KCAC, this is a special acquisition company. Bill Gates-backed vehicle battery supplier to go public through SPAC. So this will definitely be on watch. You've got ascending volume right up to this high at 855. A little bit of a pullback right now, and I would kind of be watching it around, well, certainly around the volume weighted average price, but I'm not sure that it's going to come down that far. And you know, if it did come down that far, that would be probably a little bit too much of a pullback. So I think at this point, I'm just going to watch it through this consolidation. I'm still holding 122 shares, but I took most of my profit at 23 and 20, 16, 20, 16, 23. So I have a small position on it that I'm still holding, and we'll see how it consolidates here. This is the leading gap in the entire market. We've got a good catalyst. You know, special acquisition companies, they don't have any upside resistance, being that this company is for the pure purpose of taking the other company public. So, you know, I mean, obviously you're going to see it's a big gap up on the daily, but then it could keep going. So we'll see. I'm interested to see how it trades. I think it's definitely got some potential, possibly even multi-day potential, but we'll have to see. We'll have to see. So anyways, this will be one that we keep a close eye on. The current 5-minute candle has about a minute left on it and has a high, as I'll mark out right here, of 695. This dip down here isn't necessarily bouncing off of a very, very obvious level. I don't really, it's not really the 9 moving average. It's a little above, it's near the $0.50. Maybe it's just sort of a bounce off the $0.50. So I'll say on this one, I'll even order it 1620 and we'll just see how it looks. This, I'm not a buyer right here. I mean, we know that it did a false breakout right there. So, I don't know. We'll see. Pullback entries would probably be safer. And if you haven't gotten a cushion on it, I'm up a total 4,153. So, you know, I have a little bit of a cushion on it, and that gives me some room to take a little risk on the next trades. If you don't have a cushion on it yet, then you have to be waiting for a really good setup. Right now, first 5-minute candle to make a new high would be 1610. That's a little tough because it's atop of this red candle. So even though you've got a 5-minute setup there, you don't really have a 1-minute pattern. In the classes, the Warrior Pro classes, we talk a lot about multi-time frame alignment. You want to have the 1-minute and the 5-minute both telling you to do the same thing. Right here, the 5-minute says maybe to be a buyer over 1610, but the 1-minute would say, no, that's a little extended. When that's the case, I could do a dip trade off of the lows, like a double bottom off of 1555, 1556. And then by the time it comes up to 1610, even though it would be extended, I have a better entry. It might not be the spot where I'm adding, but I have a better entry. So, but this may also just need to consolidate for a few more minutes. So we'll keep that one on watch. Second leading gappers, ears, gapping up 43%, 4.17 million share float. I don't know. That one is below the volume weighted average price and is pulling back a little bit. S&P 500 has been absolutely crazy. I mean, we're finally getting a little bit of a gap down here, but it's been really bonkers. I'm holding swing trades on Netflix and on IBM. Those are my 2 swing trades I'm carrying into today. They both will expire tomorrow, Friday. And my strike price on IBM is at $22.50. And my strike price on Netflix, I have 2. One is at $5.15 down here, and the other's at $500 and $600. So my strike prices are still 10% away from the current price, so I should be in good shape there. So those are swing trades. Tesla is coming back down towards the lows. This is a double bottom right now at 405. I don't know. I'm cautious on it because, on the one hand, I feel like this might we could, if we break 400, we could see a good size flush on it. On the other hand, it's kind of a funny pattern because yesterday was a bottoming tail. It sold off and then bounced back up. It was a nice bounce. So, I mean, you look back at that bounce, it was really impressive. It sold from 450 to 400 back to 450. So in this area, I mean, I would kind of be thinking long off of 400, 405. I just don't know if that's perhaps too aggressive or too optimistic. Options are also a way to trade it, buying calls, but as we know, it's even the spreads on the options are not insignificant. So, you know, the problem there is that if you get in going the wrong way, all of a sudden you're going to be down $2 a contract, and you're going to start to feel like, oh my God, I'm a deer in the headlights. It's dropping so fast. So I don't know if I'll do an options trade on it again today. But my experience with Tesla for the most part is to kind of do the reverse. And so like this is really low. So I'm thinking to be a buyer, not to continue on the short side. But let's see, right out of the gates, this thing might flush. I mean, we might see a good sized drop. And I don't know. And yeah, KCAC, one of their headlines is I guess a solid state battery that charges in a really short period of time. I'm trying to find where that was. But in any case, compared with today's lithium-ion batteries, solid-state batteries charge quicker and have greater energy density, meaning vehicles can go farther with the same battery pack. However, the batteries are extremely costly to produce. So it's interesting. I mean, obviously, any Bill Gates-backed vehicle, any company that has someone's, a big name tied into it is significant. So that's on KCAC. But yeah, Tesla, I don't know. Let me see what Mike's thinking. He might just be thinking I'm gonna steer clear of it. I mean, I was thinking yesterday. Okay, so first let's just look at the 5-minute chart. So we've got a 5-minute bull flag here, as you can see on this one. High of the last 5-minute candle was 16. And the low is 1556. So it's coming down again. It's doing another sell-off. You can see how it's tapped this resistance level here a couple times. So we're in a little bit of a wedge. But the 5-minute would still say over 16 is the first candle to make a new high. So I'm going to take a starter of KCAC here for the first 5-minute candle to make a new high and an order at 1620 to add. So I'm watching, this is first 5-minute candle to make a new high. The first pullback on this should get bought up. Watching the add. Adding there. And on this one, I just kind of want to ride the momentum and see if we do get a squeeze up towards 1630, 1650. Again, the first pullback should get bought up. So the high right now is 27. So I'm going to put my new order at 1627. I'll put it at 1630. This is a 1-minute setup, but it's also a 5-minute setup. And the first 1-minute pullback after a fresh 5-minute breakout usually gets bought up. So those of you guys that got that trade from 16 up to 1620, that's a good trade. There's another one that's about to set up right here, which is a break back over 1625 for a move up towards 1635, 1645. So watching over 1620. Now on the first candle of pullback, I'm a buyer. So I'm going to add right there at 1605. I'm buying that dip. And now looking for the squeeze back up to 15. Maybe we see a move up to, on the first candle, make a new high back into the 20s or 30s. Holding about 3,000 shares right now. So the only problem is that it double topped. So this first candle to make a new high, the high of the current candle is 1619. Now I was still holding 100 shares before that trade, and then I added to the position. I'm going to take my profit out of the trade right now because it's breaking back below the whole dollar of 16, which is, usually that's a pretty critical level of support. So this is a little discouraging that we're double topping and failing. I'm up on it 5,300 now, so I added another 1,000 on that trade, which was a good setup, but we didn't get that resolution that I was kind of hoping for. Hang on one second. So now what we're going to have is a flat top, a double top. So we've got double top. Our best chance would be that it continues to hold 1556, and as it comes to the next move up, that would be an opportunity. For 10 million shares of volume and a 58% gap, it does feel a little sluggish. It kind of feels like it's, I don't know. I'm not sure. Let's see. Now we've also got Apple, possible double bottom on yesterday's low. That one's breaking it a little bit pre-market here. Higher price, large cap stock. Carnival Cruise Lines, I don't know. I don't think I'm going to do anything on that one. I think out of the gates, I'll be watching KCAC and Tesla. And then in terms of other gappers, ears, I don't really like that much unless it can get back above, the pre-market high. But the 200 moving average is fairly close by. Whiting Petroleum, I lost on yesterday. I don't know if I really want to overstay my welcome on it. Probably not. PHX, a little cheaper, $2. Oil and gas, again, I don't know. I don't see a lot else that looks interesting, to be honest. Hang on one second. All right. All right, so we've got about 7 minutes to the bell. So Mike said on Tesla that he's more interested in trying to do a double bottom on Apple than on Tesla. I think he traded Apple yesterday, and so he's more inclined to do Apple. I'm not as sure about that for me, because now it's broken the double bottom here. So since it broke the double bottom, I don't know. I'm not sure if I like that. He said he's thinking that 400 gets bought up. So, he said he might buy puts if it does break. So that's what his thought was. If it breaks 400, maybe he'll do puts if it can break that critical level. But it sounds like he's not as interested. He's not. He's not wrong. It's a choppy stock. It's a risky one. There's some risk in it for sure. So I'm not sure. My thoughts on it, kind of initially, are. Yeah, I mean, if it comes back down to 400, 405, I'd probably do a bounce trade. But, I do worry about people getting, who bought Tesla too high, bailing if it does start to really sell off. And Tesla's had such an incredible run. I mean, it's due for like a really serious pullback. The last one was back here in February when it hit this high and then dropped significantly. We had a little bit right here and then it double bottomed. This was the date of the reverse split announcement. KC, AC. It's selling off a little bit more here. I'm watching it around this level. I got a starter at 51. I'm just going to buy the dip on it. It's a dip off the $0.50. If I can get to 71, that would be 20 cents. So I bought right at 51. So hey, 71, that's 20 cents. That's all I wanted. 3,500 shares at $700. Puts me up 6,000 on the day. So that's a double bottom. It broke the double bottom by 4 cents, but the $0.50 was the spot. So bought off psychological support of 15.50. Those are a little risky. That's why I went with small size. I tried to do 6,000 shares, but I only got a partial fill on the second order. But still, smaller size, trying to be a little more conservative on it. So, yeah, that's where I'm at right now. $6,079 on KCAC. We've got 3 minutes to the bell. So let's do our pre-trading checklist. Did you eat well? Did you sleep well? Do you have a couple stocks on watch that you like this morning? If you do, what's the condition of the overall market? Now, earlier I was like, man, this looks like we're going to have an awesome day as this was squeezing here from 15 up to 16. But in the last 30 minutes, it's kind of, I don't know, it's just sort of been churning between 15.50 and 16.28. It gave a couple attempts to break through this high and it failed. Right up here, and then it failed again here. So now we're a ways away from, the 5 minutes kind of a funny looking pattern because it failed off this level, and I'm just not sure about it. Those of you guys streaming on YouTube, Facebook, please hit the thumbs up. I really appreciate it. It makes a big difference for the channel for you guys to do that. So please hit the thumbs up on YouTube and Facebook. We've got about 2 minutes to the bell, so bell rings. I'm going to keep trading. I've been waiting for a day on YouTube where we'll get 3,000 thumbs up, so I can do a keep live streaming at the bell for you guys and give you a free day. But we haven't had as many thumbs up, so hit that thumbs up button, and maybe I can get one scheduled at some point here. But yeah, right now, out of the gates, I've got Tesla on watch on the left. So that one, I'm looking for a little kind of panic sell-off. I guess at the open, it's below the volume weighted average price. Because it's so volatile, I'm not going to try to short it because my hotkeys aren't set up for shorting. They're set up for buying. And I'll need hotkeys to exit. I can't be fumbling when I need to get out of Tesla short. So I'll just be looking for a long on Tesla. I'm going to bring my share size down to maybe 1,000 shares, 500 shares, I don't know. Maybe 500 shares to start. And I'm looking for a double bottom off of 405. That level at the open could break. We could get a flush and a bounce off 400. So between Tesla and KCAC, those are the two I'm going to have my eye on at the open. KCAC, my order is going to be at 1630. It is coming back up here, which is good. So coming kind of into the open, I'm going to be watching this definitely for a possible trade over 1630. A squeeze up to 1650 and then a move to 1675 or 17. All right, so that's the game plan here with 20 seconds to the bell. KCAC is looking like it's probably going to be the one. Tesla is secondary. Long, taking a starter there, right into the open. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to look for the bell to ring. Orders at 1655 to add. Watching. I'm going to let it dip. Adding 1625 right there. Want to catch this squeeze. Taking profit 1625. Or back out flat. I'm going to let it dip. Long at 16. Bought 6,000 shares right there at 16. Trying to catch this dip for a pop back up to 1620. Looking for the long over 16. Shouldn't be struggling to break this level. I'm going to look to do another dip trade on it. I still think we're going to get a nice red to green. Watching an ad over 16. There's 1620. Nice. I sold and I'm up 7,750 bucks. So kind of a little funny there. 1640 is our pre-market high. E-signal charts have frozen again at the open. Tesla, KCAC, but that's kind of okay because I'm really not even looking at the charts in that first couple minutes or first couple seconds. I'm just staring at the level 2. So I know 1640s are the high. Tesla, back to 1417, no trade there. Bounces off 1550.